Hello there, welcome to another ink review. Today we're going to be reviewing Harbin's Cafe de Isle. This was an ink that was given to me, a sample that was given me by Lady Nugaro off of the Fountain Pen Geeks. I have used, so this is not the size sample she gave me, it was actually more here, but I've used a good pen or two's worth in this already. And before we get started, I plan on putting this in this Sheaffer fine line. And I just want to show you something I like about this pen. This is a lever fill pen, but it has the nib that screws into the section. And it's just a friction fit, and there you see the sag. And I love that because a lot of my lever fill pens are pain in the rear end to clean out. I just cleaned out the Sheaffer Wasp pen. It took me 4 or 5 days because every time I went to try to every time I thought it was clean and the water ran clear, I would wait a few minutes and try it again, and it would be boatloads of ink in the pen. And it's really important to change the ink, to clean out the pen if you're changing ink colors, ink brands, that kind of deal from a pen, so that the thing is clean and you get proper representation of the ink and all kind of stuff like that. So I just thought I'd show that because I thought that was cool. I really like the way that's done. So let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to fill this. It's a small, whoa, don't you dare, thank God there wasn't that much in that. But it's a small sample, so what I'm going to do, if I can get the lever to cooperate, I'm going to take this lever fill pen and I'm going to tilt it a bit so that the feeder hole in the bottom of the nib is contacting as much ink as possible. And I'm just going to go like that and go. That's about 10 seconds worth, and I hopefully have gotten some ink in this pen that way. Alright, this is Harbin Cafe de Isle, and that's skipping a bit, but that's my hand pressure. I can tell when I'm writing. The pen is a Sheaffer fine line with, of course, a fine nib. The paper is just HP 20-pound copy. This is, in my opinion, a really nice brown. It goes on sort of vibrant, but it dries really fast into sort of a pretty much a nice sedate, almost dark brown. I assume that cafe means coffee, but just it depends on how you like yours, I guess. But it flows really well, in my opinion. It's a pretty wet ink. This is 20-pound copy paper, and it sucks ink into it really fast. And most inks, when I use this copy paper, won't smear. They almost dry instantaneously. So this is a really nice very nice wet, well flowing ink. Let's do the quick brown fox. The quick brown fox. That dude's always jumping over that lazy dog. And the lazy dog's probably looking at him like, thinking like, dude, what's your hurry? But just a lovely brown. If you like brown inks, I recommend this. It's not bright. It's not light. There's not, if you look at it, you can see just the tiniest bit of shading, but as it dries, in my opinion, that goes away a lot. But of course you have to remember I'm using a fine pen, a fine nib, so but all in all, it's a really good ink. It's Harbin. Everybody knows, everybody drop that. Everybody in the fountain pen world, let me, got some ink on my counter. I want to make sure I get that off. Yeah, I just used some spit on my finger. Whatever works. But I mean, Harbin's a well-known company. I like their inks. They flow really nice. I've never had any problem with them. Of all of them that I've tried, I've not tried any Harbin ink that I did not like for their flow characteristics. There's a couple of the colors didn't reach out and grab me, but the characteristics of the ink itself are really good. The only thing that I would say is this is a rather wet ink, so if you're a lefty, you might want to take that into account and choose a more absorbent paper. This is one of the reasons I didn't use the Tomoe, whatever you want to call it, river paper that I normally use. Is I'm trying to get away from it because it does not absorb ink, and even inks that look dry on everything else, so they look wet on the Tomoe river. So I wanted to give a representation of just a standard copy paper, because believe it or not, I would be willing to bet that a lot of guys that use fountain pens don't spend money on Tomoe River, Clairefontaine, what's the other that everybody uses? I can't remember the name of it now. But I mean, I don't think they spend a lot of money. Some of them don't. They just use what's available. And I do that for the most part. The only reason I use the Tomoe River is because I was trying to use a paper that was real good quality for the fountain pens to show them off. But like I said, I've come to an understanding that the 20-25 pound copy paper is about the best representation for the average person to see the characteristics of the pens and the inks that I'm using. So, but anyway, that's my review. Nice ink, nice even steady brown. This is the steady guy, you know, not the flashy guy, not the loud guy, not, you know, not the Mr. Romantic guy, but the steady Freddy of brown inks. Just a lovely, in my opinion, brown ink, and highly recommended. Alright, bless you, later.